So I think that if a business wants to be around in the next 10 years, you need to be doing omnichannel marketing. So yes, it is doing SEO, it is posting on social media, it's writing blog posts, it's running some ads, it's doing all of this stuff. Listen, I'm a marketer and a small business owner, and I really feel for small business owners because you're like, oh, I got really good at laying bricks or, being a plumber or electrician, whatever it is. And all of a sudden it's like, damn, now I have to become a marketer.
Welcome to another episode of From Startup to Wunderbrand with Nicholas Kuhner. Matt Diamante is the founder of Heytony, a marketing agency dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and small businesses master SEO and social media to achieve real, measurable results. With over a decade of experience in digital marketing and a loyal audience of over 250,000 followers on Instagram, Matt has become known for his ability to break down complex strategies into simple, actionable steps that anyone can follow. From optimizing websites and ranking number one on Google to crafting scroll-stopping social media content, Matt empowers businesses to take control of their online presence without breaking the bank. Now, I have to say, there's a bit of an error in what I've just read, because I went and had a look at your Instagram page and it's 273,000. So welcome.
When did you have a look? Because today it's like almost 280,000.
Well,
I have something going
276.
viral right now. Yeah, 276.
Okay, yeah.
Close to 277.
Yeah, okay, 277. You've also got quite a significant following on TikTok, which is good.
Yeah.
But I see that I am beating you on LinkedIn, luckily. You've just got a measly one,
God.
not even 1,500 followers. So
I
don't want
know,
to say those are rookie numbers, but those are rookie numbers.
They are rookie numbers, and I'll tell you why. I hate LinkedIn. I'm just going to say that I hate LinkedIn because all the messages I get on LinkedIn, and I'm sure you're very similar, they're all, hey, do you need an appointment setter? Do you need a video editor? Do you need, somebody to do your SEO? It's just all people selling you. And I'm like, I don't want to be on there. But now I'm like, oh, that is another channel that I am underutilizing. So I'm trying to craft a strategy, and maybe you can, let me know your secrets on how to grow that following.
Yeah, well, it's about the quality of the content. And obviously, I've got the quality content. You're doing it well on your other, perhaps with the younger target audience. But we're going to talk a little bit about omni-channel marketing today. And this is really important because that's the marketing marketing mix. Yeah, there's something. I was doing some Google training today. It's marketing mix. Somebody in the description can do MMM, exactly what that is. But it's all about this multi-channel marketing, because with cookies being deprecated across a whole bunch of platforms and operating systems, it's becoming much more difficult for us to track or give attribution to where our content is coming from, or actually track customers across the internet. So that's why this sort of more omni-channel approach is important. But one of the problems, and you mentioned this to me slightly earlier, is that this can swamp somebody. If somebody's trying to go on all of the channels, so advertise and do SEO, do social media posts and activities like that, for a small business, that ain't nobody got time for that, if I can use a modern saying. So what are your thoughts along those lines, Matt?
So I think that if a business wants to be around in the next 10 years, you need to be doing omnichannel marketing. So yes, it is doing SEO, it is posting on social media, it's writing blog posts, it's running some ads, it's doing all of this stuff. Listen, I'm a marketer and a small business owner, and I really feel for small business owners because you're like, oh, I got really good at laying bricks or, being a plumber or electrician, whatever it is. And all of a sudden it's like, damn, now I have to become a marketer. I have to learn how to market my business. And I find that with dentists too. They're like, they spend all this money going to dental school and, opening up their practice or buying a practice. And then they're like, well, how do I get clients? How do I get patients? And you're like, well, you need
They
to do
should have
marketing.
spent more time in that marketing module in their MBA or their mini MBA.
Yeah, it's really crazy. So I really feel for small business owners who, again, they're not marketers, because you can be overwhelmed with all this stuff. You can spend a lot of time doing the wrong things and not seeing results, and then getting jaded and, just kind of saying the whole industry is messed up. Nothing works, right? So that's kind of what I'm trying to dispel with my social content. I am dispelling a lot of this stuff and showing people how to do it and how easy it is. And that's one of the things I want to talk about today is how can we be on all the platforms without spending money on ads necessarily. There is an ads portion of that strategy that we can talk about that you don't necessarily need to do, but how can we do all of this, be on all the platforms without spending all our time, without killing ourselves trying to figure it all out? And I have a little trick.
Okay.
Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, let's do this.
I feel like it's way too early in the podcast for me to be revealing this trick. We're going to run out of things to talk about.
Other fun things afterwards, but I think let's give the listeners value right out the get-go.
Let's go. So the first thing that I tell people is you need to answer questions for your potential customer, your clients, whatever you want to call them. So I usually say, open up a Zoom, right? A Zoom conversation or a Zoom meeting, whatever you call it, and just record it. You don't have to have anybody else on there. You can just record yourself talking. You can have your camera off if you want, if you don't want to see your face, if you get distracted by that. And what I want you to do is just answer a question that you've heard today, right? That a client asks you like, oh, how much is it going to cost to get this gas pipe installed into my home? It's like, well, that depends on X, Y, and Z. Literally answer that question as if you're talking to a customer. Give as much detail as you can. And don't worry, nobody's ever going to see this recording. So give as much detail as you can. Give personal experiences. Oh, one time this guy wanted me to go over his roof with the thing. And, you know, that would have cost so much money and it's not worth doing. Go around the house or go through the basement, whatever it might be. And answer the question, personal experience, expertise, and, you know, even some anecdotes if you have them. And then when that conversation is done, take that video. So you can use Zoom for free. I'm pretty sure it's free to record on Zoom as well, up to like 45 minutes. Take that conversation on Zoom or take that video, download it, upload it to YouTube, and keep it as unlisted on YouTube so nobody else can find it unless they have the link, and you're not going to send the link to anybody. Grab the transcript that YouTube will do automatically for you, paste it into ChatGPT and say, write me a blog post using this transcript as a basis for the blog post, and I want to answer XYZ question, right? Make sure to use personal experience, expertise, and anecdotes that I mentioned in the transcript, and like truly make unique content, however you want to say it. Then ChatGPT will spit you out a really nice piece of content that you can then put on your website. Right. So that's part of SEO. And I can get into all the technical aspects of, you know, you make sure you have your title tag, your meta description, your heading tags, internal linking, external linking. If you don't know what any of that stuff means, I do have a free course called Understanding SEO, which we're going to talk about later, but that it'll tell you what all that stuff is and some best practices as well. So take that, put it on your website, make sure you edit it, because sometimes ChatGPT or whatever AI you're using, they can make mistakes. They can, you know, use the wrong facts, all this kind of stuff. So edit it. You can add additional stories if you've thought of something, and you don't really have to do that much typing. It's really crazy. So that's like the SEO side covered, right?
And that's all free. I kind of forgot that YouTube is free because I use so many paid services. That's quite clever. That's a very easy way to get a free transcript. So that's pretty smart.
Yeah, and I found that out by accident because I was like, well, I don't want to use all these transcription things. It's like 50 cents a minute or $1 a minute, like whatever it is. And I'm like, if I upload an hour-long video and I just want the transcript, and listen, the transcript from YouTube is not perfect, but it doesn't really matter because ChatGPT or other AIs can interpret, right? So nobody else is seeing that except the AI. I feel for small businesses. There are all these subscription services that you are being sold constantly. This will improve your business. This will speed things up, you know, yada, yada, yada. We've all heard that stuff, and we probably have subscriptions right now to stuff we're not using. I know I do. Right? So how can we do this stuff for free? We have very limited budgets as small business owners in most cases, right? Until you get to a certain place where you're like, oh, I can hire an agency, or I can finally afford the SEO tool or the video editor or whatever it might be. So let's try to do this as free as possible. Yes, you can pay for ChatGPT. It's like $20 a month, but they also have a free version as well. The free version can be limited depending on where you are in the world or how much you use it.
You can just use Perplexity then for free as well.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, there's so many options.
Yeah, so take that blog post. So you have it on your website now. You're already doing SEO, right? SEO is about creating helpful content with the end user in mind. And that's what Google likes. And I'm not saying you posting that on your website, you're going to rank right away. Even us, I'm an SEO agency. We create content for our clients. We publish blog posts, and it might take 3 or 4 months or 6 months for it to show up. The name of the game here is to have patience and persistence and just keep doing it. So in that same conversation that you have with Perplexity or ChatGPT or whatever it might be, ask it, write me 5. Oh my God, what are you sharing now? Oh,
I'm just sharing
your
I'm sharing your nice website. So this is new fancy sharing technology that I've got. Just so that people can, you can carry on talking. I'm just going to scroll gently because this is a really nice website. So
thank you.
It on like a gigantic screen, so it might be a little bit out of sync, but
it shouldn't be, because we do digital marketing, but it looks pretty good from what I can see. So take that transcript or the conversation you've had with whatever AI you're using and ask it to write you 5 ideas for quote unquote viral social media videos, like reels. And it will give you ideas for videos. This is based on your script with your experience. Then you could take those ideas and either script them yourself or choose 1 or 2 of the best ones and say, hey, write me or elaborate on this. And they'll spit you out a script that you can follow. I know this is the part that most people hate. You're going to have to show up on camera, and you don't need a fancy camera. You don't need anything like that. I would say most of us, if not all of us, have a cell phone with a front-facing camera. I've built my entire following using the phone that I had at the time. Yes, I have upgraded over the years, but it's still like, whatever iPhone, Samsung, or Android phone you have should do the trick. Cameras are pretty good now. So literally pull out your phone with your front-facing camera on, and you could do this in front of the computer. Just have the script somewhere nearby and read one line. If you want to do this, here's how to do it, right? That's the first line. And then look at your camera and say, if you want to do this, here's how to do it. And that is the first clip, right? Then go through line by line, and you can use Instagram's editor, you can use CapCut, you can use TikTok's editor, and just cut out all the spaces in between. And it's okay if it's jittery, right? You can do different angles, you can go all over the place. And once you do that, save that video, download that video from the platform before you post it, and then post it on, like, let's say Instagram, and then go post that same video on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, on LinkedIn, and maybe that's not the best strategy for LinkedIn, but that's what I've been doing recently. On LinkedIn, on X, on whatever platforms you have access to, and then just do that once, twice a week in terms of the blog post. And each blog post can be several different scripts, several different short form videos. And don't be scared to talk about the same thing over and over and over again, because not all those videos are going to hit an algorithm. Not everybody that's following you is going to see it. I just want to give a quick example. I have a video right now going viral about using Facebook ads transparency, so ads library. You can literally go in, type in any page, and it'll show you if they have ads running or not, and it'll show you what those ads are. My tip in this video that's going viral is just scroll all the way to the bottom and see the ads that have been running the longest. If it is a successful company, the ads that have been running the longest are likely the ones that are converting the best. I found one for a heating and cooling company that has been running since 2023. So it's like a year and a half now that they've been running that same ad. And I'm like, isn't it kind of, interesting that that ad's been running that long? Why has it been running that long? Maybe it's really, really effective, right? And it's just like, then take that ad and go make something similar, because they've already done all the research, right? So I have talked about that so many times, maybe like 50 times in 50 different ways in all these different videos, and it never did well. And then I had tried a new angle, right? Now, all of a sudden, I think we're at 1.5 million views as of the recording of this podcast. So it's like, don't be scared to talk about the same things more than once, because you're going to run out of topics to talk about on social content, but you can frame it differently, right?
I think that's such an important point, is that the likelihood of somebody seeing your post or seeing your content is like a drop in the ocean, basically. And we get sometimes a bit bored of our content that we hear over, not that stupid thing again. But for some customer, that's going to be an insight that they hear for the first time. So you've got to have the same excitement, the same joyfulness around that subject the 500th time that you've done it, because it might be the first time that a customer comes across you. So I think that's that's such an important brand aspect that we need to think about, and that your first video is not going to go viral, most likely. And the algorithm's obviously seen that you're a specialist in this space, and okay, maybe now we'll kick it up a notch and give you those views. Because I've seen a lot of your videos, 4,000, 8,000, 14,000 views. That's on
those are
TikTok.
ones that I posted today.
Yeah, that's
or
crazy.
Yesterday, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that's good. I'm getting 800 on a good, 800 to 1,000 on a good day. So those are quite good numbers. So you're basically practicing what you're preaching, which is what I quite like as well. So, but you've spoken about creating the script, so getting something that's unique to yourself, and you're using AI in the correct way, because you don't want to go onto ChatGPT and say, well, tell me 5 interesting facts about social media, because then it's going to trot out the same 5 facts on social media that everyone else has got.
You want to hear a fun fact? Do you want to hear a fun fact that I learned today?
Yeah.
Do you know how QR codes were invented?
Mm-mm.
It's based on the game Go. Like, I don't even, is it tiles? It's something. And it's basically, that's what it's based off of.
Really?
And I'm going to be doing a video about that. And hopefully it goes viral. And hopefully a bunch of people, follow me from it. Because like that is marketing related. That's what I talk about in my content. So yes, you're saying I'm using AI in the appropriate way, where I'm not trying to get it to just give me information that's already existing out there. I'm feeding it information. I will say that eventually don't use AI or ChatGPT to script your videos. You will get to a place where you're like, I know that I can write a better hook, so something to hook people in to keep them watching the video or get them to watch the video. I know I can make it more interesting than AI can. And I personally, I don't use ChatGPT or any kind of AI to write my scripts, because I can do a way better job a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think you'll get to that who aren't pros, using it as a starting point is a good position. And again, it takes time. After a while, you're going to realize, wait a minute, this doesn't sound like my voice. This doesn't sound authentic. It sounds like it's been written.
But even if you script your own video, the first like several, and it could be several hundred of them, are not going to sound like your voice. Like if you scroll back and watch the first videos I posted, and I've only been doing this for like 2 years, by the way, posting on social media. If you scroll back and look at the first videos I posted, it does not sound like me. It sounds like a different, my wife used to be like, why are you putting on that voice for social media? Like, that's not you. Just be authentically you. And when I started doing that, I started getting a lot more interaction and, followers.
Yeah, I've said quite a few times before that people have a very good bullshit detector. So they can spot if something is fake or not. Now, you're talking about SEO. You seem to be giving away the farm, in a sense, in terms of teaching people some of the tips of the trade. So you've opened up the curtains and shown people a little bit of what's going on in the back. How are you adding value in the SEO space then, if people can just go and create scripts and create their own voice? Talk to me about how you take that to the next level for folks.
My goal is to kind of destroy the SEO bullshit industry, if that makes sense, because there's 2 sides of this industry, and I'm sure there's a lot of industries that have 2 sides, where there's a lot of scammers and spammers and people who are just going to take your money. Then there's the other side where they're saying very similar things, to be like, SEO takes time, you need to spend money, you need to have trust in the process, all this kind of stuff. But how do you tell which is the good side, which is the bad side? And I want to get rid of the bad side. I'm never going to get rid of the bad side. Let's be honest. There's always going to be people out there who are doing that stuff. But I want people to at least be armed to be able to tell, like, is this going to be a good decision or not? Right. So one thing that I read, I forget who said it. It might be like an Alex Hermosi quote, but give away for free what other people charge for. Right. My free SEO course that I was talking about earlier was something that I was going to sell. Then I was like, you know what? People need to know this stuff before they can even implement any strategies like that. It's free. Download it. Like I got an email. Hold on. I need to see if I can read this for you. So the email here, it's from a guy called Mark, and Mark says, just wanted to drop you a quick message to say thank you for the fantastic intro to SEO course. I've completed it and got so much value from your no nonsense, clear approach. Honestly, it's the best explanation of SEO fundamentals I've come across, and it's free. As I worked through the modules, I ended up creating a detailed checklist so I could track each step and apply it to my own site. I figured it might be helpful for others too. So this guy loved my course so much, he put together a PDF that he gave me. It's a checklist that I can now use as either a lead magnet or as additional materials. And he gave me like the Canva template too, so I could put my own branding, whatever I want to do. And I'm just like, that course provided so much value that this person felt like they had to give back. Not that they wanted to, they were urged to. And I haven't responded to Mark yet. So Mark, if you're listening to this before I've responded to you, I am so sorry, but I will respond. And it's just, that's the kind of feeling that I want to have, right? That's the kind of, I don't know, core. Like there's a lot of bullshit out there. Let's be honest. There's a lot of people saying, "Oh, I made my first $1 million by the time I was 20 years old. Here, buy my course and I'll show you how to do it." And like they actually haven't made that money. Yeah. And the course is how they're making money, and people fall for it. And there's not really any value being added there, right? With my stuff, I'm like, here's my whole fucking process, right? Here's how to do it. Because small businesses and I understand like what we were talking about before, small businesses don't have a budget, right? They can't go hire a marketing agency. Like our SEO starts at like $3,000 a month, and like we're not cheap, right? I know we're not cheap. We do a really great job, all that kind of stuff. I'm not here to sell those services, but they can't afford me. So I'm like, why not help them? And why not help them get into a place that maybe one day they will want to work with us, or they will have enough money to work with us, right? Or maybe they fall in love with SEO and they get really good at it and they don't need to hire anybody. I love that even more, right? Why not? Yeah. Why not be a good person?
The whole world isn't your audience. So you're going to have very specific clients that are coming to you. And if you can give value or build goodwill with an audience that isn't necessarily going to be a client of yours, but might be an endorser. So like this, that is worth cash money in terms of brand and marketing. So I really like that. Yep. Now, I've got to ask you a question. Ahrefs or SEMrush?
I use SEMrush. I just prefer the platform. They both do very similar things, but it's honestly whatever you want to use. You could use Ubersuggest or SE ranking. There's a whole bunch of keyword research tools out there, audit tools, all this kind of stuff. I actually did a shootout of 4 different ones. And like I paid for all of them, and I was paying for all of them. And I did the same keyword research in all 4 tools, and I threw that up on YouTube. It's a private video though. It's an unlisted video. So the only way to get it is by signing up to my email list. But
we will see that it was in the description. You can sign up to that.
Yeah. Before we get too carried away, I just want to go back to the omnichannel marketing thing really quickly. So we talked about posting these videos on social media and, continuously doing that. If you notice that you have a video that does really well, like over indexes, or I say over index, that's like a very marketing thing for me to say. But if it gets a lot more views than your average videos are getting, or a lot more engagement, or a lot more whatever, take that piece of content and turn it into an ad, right? You can re-record the entire thing because people are interested in that message or the way you said it. So you can do shot for shot, or you can take the original video and just add like a call to action at the end, like, hey, click for a free quote or whatever it might be. And then grab that, turn that into an ad, and carpet your local area. So just don't even do any real targeting, right? Just like your entire area, do that through meta ads. So Facebook, Instagram, you could do that through TikTok, and people in your area will see that ad, right? And they'll engage with it, meaning you will get cheaper impressions, right? It'll be cheaper for you to reach more people.
Yeah, well, the creativity aspect of ads is a bit overlooked at the moment because Google is offering all of these great AI, hyper-personalized ads, but the copy is generally a bit trash, and perhaps you're taking just generic marketing material. There's a reason why big companies pay for very creative brand ads to just break out of the clutter. So it's a very good point that you're making there. You have TikTok ads, Facebook ads, or Meta ads, Instagram, the whole shebang. Yep. I didn't see Pinterest. Pinterest is one of my favorite ones at the moment as a growing platform. Are there any new platforms, we can leave Pinterest out of it, are there any new platforms that you see are coming up that people, especially in Canada, should be keeping an eye on?
Let's just stay on the Pinterest train for a second. We're currently developing a strategy, I say developing, we're trying new things on Pinterest. I know there's like 450 million users or monthly users, whatever it is on Pinterest. Like it's an insanely huge platform that everybody's underutilizing, including us up until, last week. So we're moving into that direction a little bit more. But again, everything takes time. So you nail down a couple platforms, whatever it is. And then Pinterest, you can post videos there as well, but it's a much more visual platform. So how do you do that, right?
Yeah.
In terms of new platforms that are on the rise, like BlueSky, obviously the X or Twitter competitor, people are jumping over there. I haven't seen any huge growth on there yet, but it's a different strategy, right? I'm not the type of person who just sits on my phone all day and gets into conversations with strangers on the internet unless I see their video on TikTok and I'm like, this is hilarious, great job. But if you are somebody who likes the idea of Twitter and text-based things, BlueSky, X, whatever, that's great for you. Threads also can be really good. That is by Meta. So if you have an Instagram account, you can create an account and it'll tell all your followers like, hey, so-and-so is now on Threads. If they're on Threads too, go follow them.
Yeah, if you want people not to see something, just put it on Threads.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some stuff blow up on Threads.
It's like the old Google Plus.
Yeah. But like the thing is, like between Threads, Threads, X or Twitter and BlueSky, just post the same thing on each of those platforms, like whatever your thought is, right? And then engage with people under that. And then there's, what's it called? RedNote, the Chinese app that came out of nowhere when TikTok got banned in the US or was about to get banned.
They're going to shut that ship down real quick.
Yeah. But I mean, like, depending on where you are in the world, you might have a different social media platform that we don't have in Canada or in the States or wherever, right?
WhatsApp and WhatsApp in particular is very big in Africa, and Line in Southeast Asia and Asia. So those are sort of platforms that we don't necessarily get to interact with too much. And in terms of video and going back to LinkedIn, they've jumped on the shorts bus as well. So now
people keep saying
the first thing you see is on LinkedIn, you'll start seeing. And I skip those really quickly. I put up my post there, but I'm like, do I really want to now use LinkedIn to go and look at, hey, my business is so great, my business is so cool? No. But
that's like people keep saying that, and I'm like, I'm not seeing any more views or impressions on my videos.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's something I want to talk to you about, because I've spoken to a couple of folks who've got big numbers on these social media channels. And one of the biggest problems that a lot of them have is they have no idea how to monetize views or followers.
So it really depends on the type of content you are creating. And like, are you talking about business stuff? Are you talking about like you're a plumber? Like what kind of content are you talking about? If you're a comedian, that's totally different. The way to monetize that is to get people to go to your shows, right? That's basically it. But in order to get them,
you don't want to lose the entertainment aspect of it, though, which is why a lot of people are watching these videos. You don't just have a big 5-second, ad at the end of each of your posts.
No, I don't talk about my company at all. I'll use my website as an example, and my handle is at heytony.agency, but everything else is my name, right? It's my name, my face. And so I'll tell you what I'm doing, because I think that's the easiest way to do it. And there's a lot of opportunity for people to do almost all the same stuff that I'm doing. So the first thing is I'm posting this content for free. People randomly reach out and contact me through my contact form on my website and say, hey, would love to work with you. How much does it cost? What does the service look like? All this kind of stuff. So that's the number one way to monetize things. Have something to sell, right? Have a service or a product that you're selling. The second thing is you want to get people signed up to your email list. Right? Email marketing, and I'm sure you know this, but for anybody listening, email marketing is the number one converting marketing platform, whatever you want to call it, that exists, right? I have all these followers on social media. Let's call it 277,000. My email list is 30,000 people, right? I make probably 10 times more money from those 30,000 people than I do if I try to sell something on social media. Email marketing get people on your email list. Also, if Instagram changes the algorithm, which they do all the time, and nobody's seeing my videos, and I'm trying to sell something or whatever it is, which I don't do frequently, if that happens, then I'm screwed, right? But if my email list, I own that. I can email those people.
The other challenge with LinkedIn is that if you build up your newsletter on LinkedIn, you still don't get anyone's email addresses. They just email out from LinkedIn. So I've heard from a couple of folks that you've got to own your email list. And like you said, it's the forgotten cousin sometimes, or the ugly duckling. But those who know how to use it well, guaranteed to look at it unless it goes into the junk box. And I have a fantastic episode on why are my emails going into the junk folder. So that's one of the other episodes.
Oh my God.
In the links here, but that's quite
fun.
Fun.
Don't get me started on all that stuff. Like, I hate that. I have a friend who specializes in that, so he made sure I'm all set up correctly with that stuff. But the number one thing is get people off the platform onto your email list and then provide them value. Right. And then you could sell them whatever you have to sell. If it is a service that you are providing, great. Do you have a book out? Do you have a digital product? Do you have physical products? Like, that is how to monetize social media. Because if you go on to, Instagram or TikTok or whatever platform and just say, hey, I'm Matt, buy my thing, nobody's going to give a shit. Nobody's going to watch that video. The algorithm's not going to push it. And you're just going to be wasting everybody's time, including your own. But if you say, hey, here's how to, fix your toilet, right? And people are like, wow, it's really simple. You explained that really well, but I don't have the tools to do that. So instead of going and spending the $200 to buy all those tools, I'm just going to hire you for $150, right? Yeah. Email marketing is whatever, you can sell anything you want. I have digital products. I have courses, I have a membership. I have, 2 SaaS products, if you will. So SaaS, subscription as a service. So one's an audit tool, one is a Watchdog tool, which is, I just want to talk about this for a sec because I haven't seen anything else like it. And I'm surprised nobody else has this. And I'm not here to sell. I'm just genuinely so excited about this idea. You put in your 3 competitors' websites and it tracks all the changes they make on their website. So every week you get an email report saying, oh, they updated these 5 pages, and here's exactly what they updated on those pages. So if you're doing SEO and you want to know if they're doing SEO, it'll tell you that. If they're updating their prices, it'll tell you, the price went from $50 to $47 or whatever. They're trying a different pricing strategy. Or they have landing pages that the public can't see. This tool finds all that stuff. Right?
So, and that is useful because you can pretty much do that on Ahrefs and what's the other one? SEMrush. But it's so complicated and there are so many steps to go through it, and you get.
But you can't, it doesn't do it like this.
Yeah, but I mean, this is what you need. You just want that little portion of what it can do.
Yeah.
And that is valuable versus these thousands of other services and, things they've got in the platform, which are no use. I love that idea. And a lot of people would find that very useful. Where can they find that, Matt?
Just on the Hey Tony website, there's a tab that says tools, and there's a free tool in there too, the content analyzer. I'm not here to plug my own stuff, but it's really cool. So go check that out. It's pretty self-explanatory. And if you need a tutorial, email me or use the contact form, whatever, and I'll make a tutorial, right? Yeah. I want people to know how to do all this stuff and use all this stuff. But yeah, that's enough about me.
Yeah, but that Watchdog concept is really good. And I think a lot of companies just don't have the time or don't know exactly how to do it. So if there's a simple tool to do that, I think folks should definitely check that out.
Well, you know what the craziest part is that if you want access to anything even remotely like that, you have to pay $150 a month at least. Right? Because then you get this whole suite of tools and it's everything you would ever need, right? Social media management, keyword research, backlinks, all this stuff.
And you don't use it.
You don't use it. And even me as an SEO agency, there's so many features that I don't use on SEMrush or Ahrefs or any of these keyword research tools or any of these SEO tools, we'll say, that I'm like, okay, a small business doesn't have that budget. So can I break off parts of this that I find useful, develop a better version and sell it for $10 a month? Right? Something affordable for business owners, small business owners. Yeah, let's fucking do that.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. And I think we're going to get to that stage where people are just, I just want this one little thing. I think what's happened in the last sort of 10 years is these software companies just bought out all of these companies who do all these individual things, stuck it all together because the barrier to entry for these businesses is so low. And now they're stuck with these ginormous donkeys like Google, and nobody actually knows how to start with the platform anymore. And there's just too much, and then nobody does anything. I would love to chat longer. This has been great. I think we should do another session, but I also don't want to go too much over time. Matt, where am I going to send folks again for those who've just joined us now? Where am I going to send them to find more information about you?
Oh, go on any platform, basically any social media platform, and type in Matt Diamante. You will find me on, I think, every platform. I will say, though, there's a lot of people pretending to be me trying to scam people out of money. So if you fall, like my account will always be the one that has the most followers. So that is the legit account. And I know that sounds crazy, but that is a legit account. All the other ones, it'll be like, oh, Matt Diamante private or Hey Tony private, stuff like that. Those are all people legit trying to sell you Bitcoin or get your number for Telegram. I don't know. I don't do any of that shit. I don't know anything about investing. I have a guy who does that shit for me. You know what I mean? I'm never going to try to be like, send me $750 for fucking Bitcoin. No, I don't know that. So that's where you can find me. Every platform, Matt Diamante, Hey Tony.
And you that's heytony.ca.
Yes, I'm in Canada.
In Canada. So that's Canada. Is that 10 Canadian dollars? So that's like 50 cents? Or,
no, everything
US dollars.
Well, okay, so here's a crazy thing. And I know we could keep talking about all this stuff, and I'm having such a blast right now. But I originally had everything as Canadian dollars because I'm like, I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to charge USD. Like even though that would be like a 30 to 40% increase in pay for me. And the strangest thing happened. Nobody was buying my stuff because they're like, what's CAD? What's Canadian dollar? How does that convert to the US dollar? And I'm like, I'm not doing conversions for people. So after a couple months, one day I just changed it from CAD to USD. Same exact price, like dollar value. Say it's like $150 from 150 Canadian to 150 USD, and sales went through the roof. It's the world current. Well, for now, it's the world currency. And
it's going to be Canada's currency soon as well, by the sound of it. So.
Oh yeah, 51. Yeah, apparently. But like, so everything's in US dollars, but like when you think about it, all the server costs, like everybody charges USD. So it just makes it easier.
Exactly. Well, I love it. Well, Matt, this has been great, and let's do this again.
Absolutely.
I really do appreciate your comments. So why not go and watch this live on YouTube, or go to my website, kuhne.no. That's KUHNE.no for more information.